The story begins in a small seaside village where life was built around the rhythm of the ocean. Every morning, the villagers would sail out to catch fish, and every evening, they'd return to sell their haul, surviving day by day. Among them lived Maya, a strong-willed young woman, and her lover Binso, both born and raised in that very village. One day, their peaceful life is shaken when they discover that the government has put up a notice declaring that the village must be evacuated. Panic spreads like wildfire. Maya and Binso are devastated. This village is their whole world. Soon, the villagers begin to protest, unwilling to abandon their homes. Maya's father, Sira, a poor fisherman who had spent his entire life wrestling with the sea, joins the protest. With no other skills or income, Sira refuses to leave. But the stress proves too much, and during the protest, he collapses. Days later, we find Maya at home, tending to her ailing father, who can now barely move or speak. Binso supports her as best he can, but they're both helpless. Sira's treatment needs money, and Maya has none. Desperate and overwhelmed, Maya breaks down. But then, determined to do something, she visits a government office alone. There, she meets Lisa, a clerk who coldly tells her to come back the next day. As Maya turns to leave, the officer in charge, Sojio, steps out of his room. Maya seizes the moment and tells him everything about the village, her father's illness, and their poverty. Sojio listens and says he sympathizes but can't stop the eviction. Maya is heartbroken, but then Sojio invites her to his office for a private talk. There, she explains her situation in detail, and he offers her a job, not out of compassion, but with hidden motives. Maya, unaware of his intentions, is relieved and returns home with hope, telling her father that she finally has a job and will now earn enough for his treatment. Even Sira, weak and bedridden, smiles. That night, Maya tells Binso too, and he celebrates wildly in his cave. The next morning, he walks her to the office on her first day. Lisa shows her the ropes, filing papers and using the printer, and tells her there's a party that night for Sojio's birthday. After Lisa leaves, Maya continues her work alone, accidentally dropping some papers. Just then, Sojio appears and invites her to the party, his eyes shamelessly locked onto her body. Maya, polite but focused, wishes him and gets back to work, unaware that Sojio had hired her not for her skills, but because he had already made up his mind to one day explode in her cave. That night, Binso drops Maya off outside Sojio's office and leaves. As Maya walks ahead, someone accidentally spills water on her clothes. Soaked and a little embarrassed, she stands there just as Sojio and Lisa approach. Seeing her condition, Sojio says, "There are some spare clothes inside the office, you can wear those." Maya nods, and she goes in with Lisa, who quickly hands her some clothes. As Maya begins changing, Sojio walks in too, but by then, she's already dressed. He tells Lisa to wait outside because he wants to sit with Maya and have a drink. After Lisa leaves, Maya gives Sojio a gift, a small box of homemade food. Sojio, a man who loved food and drink, is impressed by her thoughtfulness. He pours her a glass, and Maya hesitantly begins drinking with him. As the alcohol loosens the air, Sojio leans in and says quietly, "If you make me happy tonight, I'll help save your village." Maya, whose heart was always set on saving her home, hesitates but finally agrees. Sojio wastes no time. He strips off his clothes and begins exploding in her cave. From behind the slightly open door, Lisa watches everything unfold and, aroused, begins pleasuring herself silently. The story skips forward a few days. Maya has started pulling away from Binso, ignoring his calls, giving vague answers. Binso is confused and hurt, not understanding why she's suddenly so distant. Maya doesn't explain anything. The truth is, she's slowly become addicted to Sojio's attention. Now, whenever he wants her, Maya locks the office door, and Sojio satisfies himself inside her cave again and again. One morning, as Maya leaves home for the office, she sees government workers shouting at villagers to vacate quickly. Their harsh words sting her, and Maya begins crying. Later that day, when she's in the office, Sojio tries to get intimate again, but Maya stops him. "You promised me you'd help save the village," she says, "but the officials are still threatening people." "You lied." Sojio shrugs and asks for more time, then lures her into his room again. But this time, Maya resists. She keeps repeating, "Save my village," until he finally snaps. Furious, Sojio shouts, "I can't save your damn village. The order came from above. I lied just to sleep with you. And now, I don't need you anymore. You're fired." With that, he storms off, leaving Maya stunned and heartbroken. Tears roll down her face as she quietly gathers herself and walks out of the office. She doesn't say a word to Lisa and silently leaves. That night, Maya sits beside her father, Sira, not revealing anything about being fired. As she speaks softly to him, a wave of nausea hits. She rushes outside and throws up violently. In that moment, Maya realizes the truth. She's pregnant, and it's Sojio's child. The next day, Sojio is back in his office as usual, unbothered, smug, when suddenly Maya walks in. The moment Sojio sees Maya walk into his office, he coldly tells her to leave. But Maya stands firm and says, "I'm pregnant, and you're the father." Sojio refuses to accept it. Enraged, he begins hurling insults at her, calling her cheap and shameless, until Maya slaps him hard across the face. Furious and humiliated, Sojio storms out, cursing her. Later, he makes a phone call and says, "I need someone to scare a girl so badly that she runs away from this city." Meanwhile, Maya confesses everything to Binso, that the child she's carrying belongs to Sojio. Shocked, Binso is speechless at first. Maya breaks down and begs for forgiveness. Though hurt, Binso softens when she explains, "I did it to save the village." Moved by her honesty, he forgives her. That night, while a stranger reaches Maya's house, Binso takes Maya onto a boat. There, lost in emotion, he begins exploding in her cave. The next morning, Maya wakes up alone on the boat. Binso is nowhere to be seen. She calls out for him, but there's no response. She realizes he has left her. When she returns home, she finds her father Sira's lifeless body. Maya knows instantly, this is Sojio's doing. He had Sira killed to scare her into leaving. Fueled by rage, Maya goes straight to Sojio's office and begins shouting at him from outside. Lisa rushes out, calms her down, and takes her to her home. There, Maya shares everything: the pregnancy, the betrayal, the murder of her father. Lisa, who already knew how vile Sojio was, begins to feel pity for Maya. A few days pass. Maya now lives with Lisa, cooking meals for her since Lisa never learned how. The two grow unexpectedly close, so close, they even start exploring each other's bodies. Then, one day, Lisa brings Sojio a special food item. Being a food lover, he eats it eagerly, unaware that Maya was the one who prepared it. As he eats, Lisa stands silently nearby. Within minutes, Sojio begins gasping and collapsing, but Lisa watches without moving. Just then, Maya walks in, stares coldly at his trembling body, and says to Lisa, "This bastard deserved to die." The food had been laced with poison. Sojio dies on the spot. In the final moments of the story, Lisa takes over Sojio's post and decides to save the village, fulfilling the promise Maya once hoped for. And with that, this story comes to an end. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you love such stories, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one.